and people don't like them anymore. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. If I could have your attention, it's 5:01. Just realised everyone's chatting. So welcome everyone to the extraordinary meeting on Cowra Council's extraordinary council meeting on Monday, the 9th of September. And I'll read these things. In accordance with the Local Government Act, Cowra Council is recording this meeting and will upload the recording to Council's website. By speaking at this meeting, you agree to being recorded and having that recording published in the public domain. Please ensure that when you speak at council meetings, you're respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Cowra Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we gather, the Wiradjuri people, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We have no absence of councillors, and we have we have any disclosures of interest from councillors and staff? Please indicate in relation to any interest you need to declare. We have no disclosures of interest. We have an apology from the General Manager, Paul Devery, who is ill. Thank you. Councillor West. Councillor Watt. Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Carried. And we have no presentations, and there are no I think we can allow that. Can we allow that? Yeah, we can allow that. We usually ask for people to register, but you're different. And it's all about you. And it's all about you. It's all about you. So I'm very happy to take that. If you'd like to come and address us, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Pressing the button. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we're fine. Thank you.
Okay. I just really wanted to say a big thank you to a few people in the room, namely Larissa and to Glenn for the huge amount of support and coaching and guidance that I've received probably over the last 18 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, just to help us get up to this point. And I know that there's a few people missing, Paul specifically. I know Glenn isn't here, but I've thanked Glenn. I also wanted to say thank you to Councillors West, Smith and Delbo for returning for this meeting. Hey, look, you've got to come back to the great meetings, right? Excellent. That was all I wanted to say, was to say thank you for the support and the guidance, and hopefully we can achieve a really good outcome tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Libby. With that, I will, if there's nothing else, and we will have the one item on the agenda is the development application number 68, 2024, lot 29 DP 45349. 14 Short Street, Cowra, a centre-based childcare facility, preschool care, lodged by S. D'Souza. I need a mover, Councillor Watt, Councillor Smith, and if you would like to speak, Councillor Watt.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This report is brought to us as Council for two reasons. The value of this proposed development exceeds the staff delegations, and the applicant is asking for a small variation to our planning policies in asking for the provision of landscape plan to be provided after the determination of the application. It's also being brought to us tonight at the extraordinary general meeting because this project is grant funded and has very tight timelines to deliver a very big project. It's with great excitement that this DA is before us today. We know families in Cowra are screaming out for more childcare positions to support both the current families and let alone the ability to attract families to move to Cowra. This morning was registration for kids who are currently part of KEX down at Carinya, and there was a line out the door, and that's just for kids who already have a space, let alone more. Every person I spoke to in the line spoke about the need for more childcare and the barriers it puts on their life to not be able to have appropriate childcare for their kids. Many worked through options to have their kids with someone else so that they could line up early this morning in hope of getting a few more spots. And I know there's many, many more who didn't even have that opportunity to be in the line today. This is a fantastic proposal for a number of reasons. For one, all childcare facilities are currently in North Cowra and situated in a particular area. If anyone knows what it's like getting out of the house with a child in the morning and trying to get them there before you go to work, it's great that we have some spread out. This is close to a main road, but not on a main road, so we know that it will be safe for the kids when they're being dropped off, but also means that we aren't having a lot of traffic running through residential parts of Cowra. The applicant has made a really good decision to increase the required car spaces from 19 to 26 to facilitate the high rate of pickups and drop-offs at particular times and reduce the impact on the small road of Short Street and surrounding roads. As this report articulates, the proposal meets all the requirements for childcare facilities, from indoor space to outdoor space to toileting to a number of other facilities that are essential for appropriate childcare. This proposal also notes quite an extended opening hours from 6:30 in the morning till 7 p.m. at night, which we know as conversations we've had around this chamber over and over again about the need to attract doctors, the need to attract professionals, the ability to have childcare to work around your actual lifestyle is really important. As we all know, this site is on a former essential energy depot, which did include above ground storage tanks, underground storage tanks, infrastructure and pole storage areas. As is quite well detailed in this report, there were previously identified hydrocarbon impacted soil, and that work has been undertaken by previous occupants to reduce that. And in the assessments conducted on behalf of the applicant, there was not a detected elevated level of heavy metals or hydrocarbons. Nevertheless, we can see in this report that an unexpected fines procedure will be adopted, which is articulated on page 281 of our report, which sets out a really clear process for how incidents will be dealt with if anything's found throughout it. And the landowner will be required to appoint an environmental scientist to induct and provide information on hazard identification and responses to earthwork supervisors and personnel. I hope all my fellow councillors are as excited as I am about this proposal, and knowing that by choosing to support this, we're choosing to support the opportunity for more kids to get opportunities to learn and develop their skills, to develop their emotional skills, their language skills, their connection with their community, and the opportunity for more families to have financial stability in their life. I read a report today that in a survey conducted by the Parenthood, which is the peak body around parents and their children, that 85% of rural families are experiencing financial distress as a result of not having access to appropriate childcare, and this addition of 60 spots will be a fantastic start to Cowra tackling that problem.
Oh, thank you, Councillor Watt. Councillor Smith, would you like to?
Thanks. Very thoroughly covered by Councillor Watt. I'll just add two things. Firstly, the fact that while the proposal was advertised to neighbours, as always, there were no submissions. So presumably everyone around there is very happy with the idea, as certainly I am. And regarding the lack of the landscaping plan with this application, which I presume was due to the time constraints, that landscaping plan will come, and no occupational certificate will be given until the plan is accepted. So I don't think that is a problem at all, and I wish Kex all the best.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Any further comments? Councillor Wright.
A couple of questions first. Is the person S.D. Souza, is she from the Crown Lands Department that lodged the application?
Through the chair, no, it's the actual planning company that prepared the application.
Well, I'm just wondering if I can't see anything there where the Crown Lands have given permission to build it. Is that because these are Crown Land, they're the managers of it? I thought they'd have to sign off on it. I probably haven't seen it properly, but
It has been signed off, and
Right.
it's in the application form on the portal.
thank you. And seeing it's on Crown land, if something happens and they want to sell it, they won't be able to sell it because you can't sell anything that's on Crown's land. You don't actually own it. You own the building, but not the land. I'm just wondering if that's any future going forward in their business plan, that's all.
That I couldn't comment on.
I
That
think
would be up to the tenant.
we just, it's not relevant. We're actually just dealing with the DA, Councillor Wright.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just
You
long
could
as,
probably ask that question later on if you want.
yeah, they keep, yeah, no, we can do it. No. I just wanted to make sure that the people, because there has been other situations in town where the occupants of Crown land that have built things, they cannot sell them, get permission off Crown land to sell them. But this is something that the town needs, and I fully support it. It's very topical at the moment. The government expects mostly women to go back to work after having babies, and they can't go back to work unless they've got childcare, and and plus also the education department now only have 1 year of kindergarten instead of 2 when I was growing up. So the childcare education becomes more important, and my biggest concern with it was contamination, but there's 2 reports there saying that contamination should be next to nil, and I hope they don't uncover any while they're building, because it seems to become a problem in Sydney with more so with the landscaping material than the site they're built on. But I wish them all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. Any further comment? Councillor Kiss?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just briefly, well, thank you, Councillor Watt, for summing everything up so beautifully. I think as a young professional, as a mum I used to have my kids in care 11 hours a day, and you're right, getting in and out the door, battling traffic, picking them up early, dropping them off, it was a bit of a nightmare. So to know that there's extended hours is going to be very, very fortunate. I also admire just the general plan of it, having the kids playing out the back. Not so much as I see in the plan being that it means, you know, reducing the noise of the kids out front. I think the noise of kids is great, but knowing that the kids don't have to be looking at traffic and hearing the truck screech and everything day in and day out, they've got their own little environment out the back. I think that'll be quite exciting for them. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this progress and come to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kiss. Councillor Downing?
I just want to say that I fully support this DA. The DA is absolutely comprehensive. We've had 544 pages to read. I think everything is covered. I think the most pleasing thing about this development, apart from the fact that it's going to provide our town with childcare that's desperately needed, is that it is going to use the space that was totally derelict and has been for many years. I'm old enough to remember when it was the county council, because my dad used to work there. So others might know Essential Energy, and I know some of the chemicals and things that would be around there. Probably played in them as a kid when there was no WH&S laws. But yeah, no, just congratulations to everyone. It's an amazing investment into our community, and I noticed that this is part A, so there will be other parts that will come to us for DAs as we go forward. So very exciting. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Smith.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Fagan. I endorse what my fellow councillors have said. I fully support this. I think it's great for the town. I was particularly happy that they've chosen to have extra car places, and also that there's an in and an out. So there'll be no unloading children on the street, which I think it's wonderful. I think it's great, and I hope you do very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further? Everyone, go. Councillor Delbert, have a turn.
Being the last one and all, it is the last one, isn't it? Okay. First and foremost, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be a part of this as the last item for me here at council. I really want to extend a huge congratulations to Cowra Early Childhood Services for their vision in this. I know it's been at times a very slow journey to get to this point, never losing sight of what they wanted to achieve and finding the right location, getting all the ducks in order So congratulations to the board and to the staff for not ever giving up to get to this place. I know there's a lot of work to happen yet to build it, to construct it, but yeah, congratulations. I'm also fully aware you've got board members whose children did use the facility who have now, probably teenagers, and they still stay on and volunteer and contribute. So congratulations for those members to contribute back to the Cowra Society. This, as said around the room tonight, it is highly needed for our community. And the first place that I decided to visit to add to this debate was obviously the census results. And if you look at the 2021 census results, 5.7% of our population is under the age of 4, which is, this is the market that we're talking about tonight. We are on par with New South Wales and Australia with that statistic, and hence why having an additional 60 spaces, 60 child places at this one facility will be fantastic for the community. The other statistic that I had in front of me this evening was that 18.3% of our population, families that are both employed in full-time arrangements, that's quite a high statistic, I think. And as a result of that, I know the age group for that was 15 years and under, so it's not the preschool age, but 18.3% of families in our town that maybe have someone that is under the age of 4 looking for a place for them so they can both be employed. I think that's about it from me.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
Dwyer. Councillor West, would you like to have your Ras Sarah? Everyone, we're here. We may as well have a say.
Better not be left out. I was tempted a minute ago to move a motion that it be put, but I thought I'd better not. It'd be a bit too draconian. Look, I think to me there are 3 components in this DA that I would touch on very quickly. One is that if it reflects well on council, that we're prepared to come together to consider these sorts of matters at short notice, as we should. But I think it's worth noting that council does do these sorts of things at short notice, appropriately, of course. To the applicant, there's been a lot of hard work, and as Councillor Delbo indicated, a lot of hard work has gone into getting this proposal to this particular stage, and I would congratulate them for that hard work, because it has been, I think, a learning curve and a whole new brave world for them. And they've tackled it, and to get the grant funding from the government in as well as also indication that this is a proposal that not only we support and that they're working very hard, and the community supports, but also the government supports by the grant. So that I think, like everybody, we say congratulations and good luck in the future, and we hope it all goes swimmingly for you, and I have no doubt it will. But the third component is, and I would thank the comments that were made in addressing the council just by reflecting on the work of our staff, our much maligned staff from time to time, and so I thank you very much for just making those comments about the attitude and the helpfulness of our staff, because, as I said, from time to time they do get a little bit maligned, and this is a clear indication that we have very competent professional staff who will willingly help within the due bounds of the laws and rules in which they operate, but they will make sure that these things come to a conclusion as quickly as can possibly be done. So I just acknowledge your comments and also acknowledge our staff. So with that, farewell.
Thank you, Councillor West. I'd just like to acknowledge the staff as well and thank them very much, and congratulations. It's a fantastic project, and we look forward to seeing more in the future. I know it's going to be a hard slog, but it's worth it, absolutely worth it, and we're behind you 100%. So congratulations. I'll put the motion. All those in right of reply, Councillor Watt. So
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just briefly to clarify, it does note on page 26 under the public consultation that Crown Lands has provided owner's consent to lodge this development application. So that ticks off that problem. And I would just like to echo my colleagues in saying that this is an appropriate adjustment to our policies to allow this to come forward in an extraordinary meeting and without the landscape plans. As we all know, timelines are a bit tight at the moment with council changeover, and the applicants may have had to wait another month or 6 weeks before getting it up if we didn't hold the meeting today. And as mentioned, we know they're on tight grant timelines, and we want to make sure that they get it built before the government takes that money away. Thanks again to the infrastructure team for working to get to this point. Well, I know you're under a lot of pressure with the rest of your, sorry, not the infrastructure team. What am I doing? To the environmental services team. Dirk's all right. He was useful, I'm sure, but not as useful as environmental services. We love Dirk. But yes, I know you're under a lot of pressure with other parts of your workload at the moment, and the community thanks you very much for your continued commitment. And as everyone has said, congratulations to Kex. And from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you all for putting so much blood, sweat, and tears into getting here. It has such a huge impact on everyone in the community. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Revott. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Congratulations. Unanimous. With that, I do have one more thing that Graham would like to bring up, if he could. Yep, just one.
To mention, councillors, that our regional gallery director, Brian Langer, is finishing up this year. He's retiring. His last day of work will be on the 8th of November, and he's transitioning down to part-time in October, and that advertisement will appear very shortly in the press. And there'll be more to say on that and more to farewell Brian at the appropriate time.
Thank you. Just a notice. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, thank you. Okay, with that, I'll close the meeting. Although, yep, close the meeting. Thank you very much at whatever time it is.